Hi everybody, Lady Mal again. Wanted to say hi to all my followers, my subscribers, my fans, whatever you want to call yourselves. Um, I'm getting a huge following on YouTube and I appreciate it. I've gotten so many comments and suggestions on FetLife and YouTube both. I appreciate it. Please keep sending them in. I can always use more ideas for vlogs. If you're on FetLife, I do have a Lady Mouse Q&A group where you can go in and ask questions. I'll I'll either answer them there or I'll try to work it into another vlog. Today's vlog is about the sane portion of safe, sane, and consensual. I found a really good quote. It says, "Sane is knowing the difference between fantasy and reality." Um, when you go into a scene, it's really, really important that everyone is on the same level. Um, you need to know if you're a dominant, you need to know what your submissive limits are. And if you're the submissive, you need to know what your limits are. Because you don't want to hit a hard limit and have to stop the scene and then nobody has any fun. Um, you need to know, you need to communicate what your limits are. You know, I'm willing to do this, this, and this, but absolutely not that. Because you don't want miscommunication. Um, you also need to know when to stop. I am a self-admitted pain slut. I love pain. I can be flogged until I'm broken and bruised, but even I know when to stop. You need to know when enough is enough, and your dominant needs to know when enough is enough. If they don't already know, if you're new or inexperienced, then talk about it. You know, when you get to that point, use either your safe word or let them know, hey, okay, I need to take a breather or I need to stop. This is enough. Let's move on to aftercare. Um, you also need to know what not to say. Like, oh, I have no limits. Beat me until I can't move. Yeah, that's not good for anybody. And that's not very intelligent. I mean, you know, whip me, beat me, make me write hot checks. Sure, it's not fun to say, but not everybody's into that. And if you go too far, you could cause permanent physical damage, permanent mental damage, emotional damage. You breach your trust. And this could go for subs or dominants, because if a sub lets it go on too long and doesn't say anything, then you've breached that trust with your dominant that you swore that you would take care of them, which means taking care of yourself. You have to be a strong person. Submissives are not weak. And forgive me, I'm going to tangent here for a second. Submissives are some of the strongest people I know, because you have to know what your limits are. You have to know what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, and be able to voice it. I hate what I tend to call either pretty princess pets or doormat submissives. Pretty princesses pets I covered in the safe, well, the definition of what submissive, slave, and pet is. So I'm not going to go back to that. But doormat slaves, I understand why some women get into BDSM, especially heavier women like myself, because we can't get attention from guys because they all want the stick figure, big boob, big ass, small waist Barbie doll women. But within the BDSM community, there are a lot of heavier women and people that like that. And so women like me who used to have a really, really, really low self-esteem are willing to do anything they have to get the attention. And so they will let themselves be walked all over and do whatever they're told, no matter how obscene or how far it breaks their limits. And that's not good. You don't need to do that. Submissives are strong women. We know what we want, and we're willing to do what we have to get it. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not worth a damn, because you are. You made the conscious choice to be a submissive. You want to serve. You like pain, whatever your kink is. You made the choice. Screw the rest of the world. Who cares? Who cares if they think it's wrong because you like to get beaten? Screw them. You made the choice. You are an adult. You made the choice. You also need to know when to play versus when not to play. When to play when everyone's healthy, when everything has been communicated, everything's been laid out on the table, what's going to go on. You know, you're not physically ill, you're not emotionally distracted, anything like that. When not to play, when you're sick, when he or she, your top, whatever you want to call them, is sick. If you're still recovering from a previous scene, yeah, you can play, but your dominant needs to make sure to avoid overdoing anything. Um, Also, there are so many mental diseases, defects, syndromes, whatever you want to call it, that makes playing a bad idea sometimes. Manic depressive, bipolar, post traumatic stress syndrome, um, homicidal tendencies, suicidal tendencies. If you have any of these problems, you know when you should play and when you shouldn't play. Um, Now, if you get into a scene and you have a depressive swing or a bipolar swing or a PTSD flashback or whatever, whoever you're with has to understand how to deal with you, because every genre of mental illness has a different way of being dealt with. And if you have, like me, manic depression, you need to let your top know, hey, I'm a manic depressive. If I go into a depressive swing or whatever, this is how to deal with me, or this is how to handle me. I have friends that have PTSD, and if they go into a flashback, there are certain ways to deal with them, and there are certain ways to definitely not deal with them. And it's a real sticky situation. You've got to be on the ball. Um, know your dominant, know your submissive, know their needs. Um, I think that's really about it. For once, I don't have a lot to talk about because to me, being sane is just, I mean, it's obviously different for everyone, but just play smart. Don't play fast and loose. This isn't something you can screw around with and just throw caution to the wind and say whatever goes, goes. You have to be observant. Be smart. You know, if something sounds like a bad idea, it probably is, and you should say something. And don't ever be afraid to say, no, I'm not doing this. Because if your dominant bitches at you for it, then there's something wrong with the situation. Now, I'm not saying be an asshole about it, but say, whoa, I'm not going to do this. This isn't safe. I don't want to do this. And if you're respectful about it and they're still an ass to you, kick them to the curb. Find somebody else safer and saner to play with. Um, I think that's about it for today. I didn't really have any questions. If you have any questions, comments, whatever. Oh, I did, but I'm going to make a second video for it. So I will see y'all in just a little bit on my second part. It's really more of a rant rather than an informative vlog, but it needs to be done. So I will see you all in just a little while. Mwah! Love you all. Bye.